Let's unpack holograms, both the science and the idea of them showing up in UFO sightings and conspiracy theories. What is a hologram? First off, holograms aren't just a fun sci-fi trope. They're real. A hologram is a three-dimensional image created with light. Here's how it works in a nutshell. You split a laser beam and use one part of it to encode information onto a surface, like photographic film. This creates an interference pattern of bright and dark bands. Without getting into the math, the pattern holds the information about an object, say a butterfly. Then when you shine the other part of the laser beam through the encoded film, the light waves interfere with each other according to that pattern. That makes some areas brighten while others darken, reconstructing the 3D image of the butterfly. So you're not actually seeing the butterfly itself, but it's information encoded in light. This is different from a regular photo, which just captures one two-dimensional slice of light. With a hologram, the information is encoded in multiple angles or planes of light. So as you move around it, the perspective changes just like a real object. There's even a cute name for this effect: parallax. Holograms work by tricking your brain into thinking you're seeing a real object reconstructed from scattered light waves, not a flat picture. Today, holograms are used for things like security features on credit cards and IDs, creating ghostly musicians for concerts. And surprisingly, military applications like heads-up displays for pilots and training flight simulators. Sightings of holograms. But what about mysterious hologram sightings? Well, it depends on what exactly you mean by hologram. When someone claims to see a hologram in a UFO sighting, they're usually talking about something like this. Witnesses sometimes report seeing UFOs, orbs or strange craft that flicker in and out of existence or seem to phase through solid objects. Some describe them as looking like a hologram or a projection. Given the right lighting conditions, holograms can indeed appear and disappear. One popular theory among UFO believers is that there is a secret military or government project using advanced holography to hide evidence of extraterrestrial contact. They call it Project Blue Beam. The idea comes from a conspiracy theory that emerged in the 1990s. According to this theory, NASA and world governments will stage a false flag alien invasion or the messianic second coming, using giant holograms projected into the sky. The supposed plan is to trick people into thinking they were seeing a real alien invasion, a religious event, but no evidence has ever surfaced to back up these claims. Nonetheless, people who believe in the theory say that the holograms will be so advanced that whole cities will see the same thing in the sky. They also claim that there have already been test runs, such as when people have seen giant crosses, UFO fleets, or strange lights in the sky. Some say that these are signs that the world leaders are preparing to implement Project Blue Beam. But again, these sightings can also be explained by things like atmospheric effects or real-world experiments. Natural holograms. Speaking of atmosphere, holograms don't just happen in labs. Nature can create hologram-like effects too. When light passes through different layers of air that are at different temperatures or densities, it can bend, creating mirages. One type is called a fata morgana, which can create images of floating cities or ships in the sky. Another is called a light pillar, which appears as a vertical beam of light caused by ice crystals reflecting light. There's also looming mirages, which make distant objects seem closer and larger than they are. These natural optical illusions can sometimes look like real-world holograms. For instance, there was a famous supposed UFO sighting in Belgium in 1989 where witnesses saw a blue disc-shaped object hovering in the sky. At first, many believed it was a UFO. However, later, it was revealed to be a mirage caused by an unusual temperature inversion in the atmosphere. The object appeared much closer to the ground than it actually was. In fact, it wasn't even in Belgium at all. It was in Portugal. The people who saw it simply didn't realize that it was a mirage. Over the years, Japan, China, and the US have tested large-scale 3D projections that could be mistaken for holograms. For instance, A group of Japanese engineers once projected the image of a whale breaching the surface of the water onto the dome of an aquarium. They also experimented with projecting virtual whale carcasses to study how light interacts with water. China has tested holographic 3D ads in public spaces, like this one in Tokyo that makes pedestrians seem like they were walking through a wall of fire. The US military has also worked on developing holographic technology, including creating decoys to confuse radar or enemy targeting. Summary: holograms, whether naturally occurring or human-made, are fascinating optical phenomena. While the scientific definition of hologram involves encoding 3D information on a photographic film or other media, the term is often used more broadly to describe any kind of image that appears to float in midair and seems to have depth. Whether or not these mysterious sightings are truly holographic projections is often debated. Sometimes they can be explained by natural mirages or atmospheric effects. Other times, they may be the result of actual holographic technology, such as the experiments conducted by various countries or private companies. There is also the possibility that some sightings could be hoaxes or misinterpretations of real objects or events. Ultimately, the truth behind these sightings is often elusive and difficult to verify. As technology advances, however, we may see more and more examples of holographic projections in the world around us, blurring the line between reality and illusion even further. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to see more.